So when you're out harassing soy boys for, well, being soy boys, do you ever just stop and think, why? Why do I use the term soy boys? Of all the colorful vocabulary I could think of here, why soy boys? So today we're gonna answer that question once and for all. So I guess take a seat, enjoy. And then after the video, you can get back to the verbal abuse. My name's Shay. I'm a nutritionist and an international level athlete. And leading up to my best performances ever, I consumed exclusively soy products for a whole year. No, it's not even remotely true. But soy, is it going to cause, tank tests, bad performances, a need for a bra? Let's find out. So why soy? Well, people think the phytoestrogens in soy, which are these plant hormones that somewhat resemble human estrogen, are going to give you enough estrogen signaling to make you compete in the women's category. But in truth, phytoestrogens, they exist in a lot of foods like certain fruits and even beer and soy, of course, even above soy flaxseed, which is interesting. And high estrogen in men has been proven to make a lot of changes physiologically. A lot of them are pretty neutral, like blood lipid regulation, fat distribution, blood vessel regulation. They don't really change too much. Increased bone density is an interesting one, but lower testosterone levels is the main thing people are worried about, which is kind of fair enough, especially if you identify with being a Sigma male. How are you going to do that with lower test levels? No, but really, like, lower tests means, lower training progress and even ambition, mood, energy levels, so you want to keep that high, right? And the truth is, phytoestrogens can actually agonize human estrogen receptors, but, the affinity for them binding to the receptors is somewhere between 100 and 100,000 times less than actual human estrogen, depending on the type of phytoestrogen, because it's a big class of molecules. So the chances of it making a big difference in theory is similar to the odds of you actually finding love on Tinder. So what does the research say? Well, we have a mechanism here, but if there's no research to prove it, it doesn't really mean much. So absorption of these phytoestrogens into the body upon consuming them is like 13 to 35%, which is, on the lower range. Additionally, only 30 to 50% of the absorbed ones is going to actually convert to like a biologically active thing that might cause changes in the body. So if you multiply those two factors, you get something pretty low, right? So the most bioactive phytoestrogen is called daidzein, which gets converted to the active form of equal. And the interesting thing is, this conversion is higher in people that are vegetarians or Asians. Come on, man, I love Asians. 所以比如说你是中国人，大概可能是一个问题，对不对？但我们需要看到那个研究说了什么呢？ So a big meta-analysis pulled from 41 different studies with about 1,700 men, and they said, well, it doesn't change test levels. I looked into this more thinking, well, if it's a minor change, it can be quite hard to detect in a study. Even if it is dropping things, you need a certain amount of change for it to actually be valid in the eyes of science. So I was thinking, okay, well, maybe there might be a more pronounced effect in Asian or vegetarian populations, which I couldn't find. But I was looking one further and thinking, well, higher estrogen agonism, which might be caused by phytoestrogens, would cause reduced rates of prostate cancer, because low estrogen or estrogen deficiency can cause rates of prostate cancer to go up. So I was thinking, well, Asians, especially when soy products are more commonly consumed in Asia, let's look at the prostate cancer levels. No, that was a bad time for a pause there, wasn't it? But upon looking into this, it said Asian men also have the lowest rates of prostate cancer of any ethnicity. So maybe soy is having something to do with that, but it could also be 10,000 other things. So it's a bit of a reach to say that's actually what's happening, but it's kind of interesting. I don't know, maybe if you get caught a soy boy, you can clap back and say that they're going to get prostate cancer. I don't know, it's not really a battle you want to win. If you are enjoying and you're not a soy boy, please consider dropping a like and consider subscribing. It's free, helps me out, and I'd love to have you on board. The research does say that it probably isn't going to make any difference. Might it make a slight difference that we can't really detect? Possibly. Maybe it's like a very individually based thing where some people are going to find lower levels compared to others who might be pretty much unaffected by an all soy diet. This is the same story with turmeric, actually. Some people feel, because turmeric can block DHT levels, some people feel really tired and sluggish on turmeric. I tried it once and my food for like a whole week looked like the love child of Fanta and Nickelodeon. And aside from the cardiac arrest on the Tuesday and the Friday evening, I felt mostly fine. So yeah, nutritional breakdown of soy, right? Soy milk, It has some protein similar to the content in milk. It's also decent bioavailability for the protein, but it's mostly nutrients we don't have an issue getting, aside from like maybe iron, but the bioavailability isn't that high anyway, so unless you go for maybe like fortified soy milk, I think regular milk just kind of wins out anyway. So soy protein powder is actually not bad for a, you know, vegan or vegetarian based protein powder. It has a similar biological value, which means how much you're actually going to uptake, similar to pea protein. It's about 90 as opposed to whey protein, which is 110, so it's not that far behind, especially when you consider that a lot of people do get bloating on whey protein, so yeah, it's not a bad alternative there. Soy is a legume, which is in the class with like chickpeas and beans and, you know, lentils. I usually go for chickpeas and lentils. Altogether, for a plant source, really quality protein. Again, the bioavailability is pretty high, you know, it's still below meats, but it's better than things like rice. So it's an option there, I guess. I mean, I always just recommend chickpeas and lentils anyway. And as for soy oil goes, it's another one of these fats that are mostly polyunsaturated, which is usually good for you, but in this context of cooking, don't cook with it. It's unstable, releases pro-inflammatory free radicals. So I think KFC uses soy oil. So go for something that's monounsaturated to cook with. Shout out Chick-fil-A and Five Guys. I think they're the only ones who use monounsaturated with peanut oil. I always just recommend olive oil, avocado oil, baby oil. Nice try. Did he slip that one in there? So what's the final verdict? Should you avoid soy? Not really. Should you eat soy? I mean, don't really need to. That's it for me. There's some more videos there. I'll see you next time.